Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brendan Gillen. Bonjour, messieurs et mesdames. Je m'appelle Brendan Gillen. Je vous souhaite, au nom de l'Université McGill, la bienvenue aux cérémonies reportées des collations des grades 2020-2021 pour la Faculté des sciences de l'agriculture et de l'environnement. Let me welcome you on behalf of McGill University to the postponed ceremonies for the convocations 2020-2021 for the Faculty of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences. The ceremony will start shortly, finally. Dans quelques instants, je vous soulignerai les étapes principales dans le déroulement de la cérémonie. In a few moments, I'll rehearse with you the principal steps in the ceremony. First, however, let me ask you to join me in giving the Brian Sand Quintet a very warm round of applause. La cérémonie commencera avec l'entrée du cortège d'honneur et terminera avec sa sortie. Juste avant son entrée, je vais vous demander de vous lever. The ceremony will begin with the entrance of the platform party and end with its departure. Just before it enters, I'll ask you all to rise. Une fois le cortège est installé sur la tribune, le docteur Matthew Trevino chantera l'hymne de l'université. Once the members of the platform party have taken their places on stage, Dr. Matthew Trevino will sing the university hymn. Ensuite, la doyenne, la professeure Anya Geitman, vous adressera l'accolation. Afterwards, the dean, Professor Anya Geitman, will give her the convocation address. Pour la remise des diplômes, nous procéderons rangée par rangée en commençant avec l'avant et passant vers l'arrière. For the conferral of the diplomas will begin with the front rows of the diploma recipients and proceed towards the back rows. Le temps venu, votre rangée se lèvera et fera la queue à la droite ici. Once the time comes, your row will stand and make a line over on the right. Avant de monter sur l'estrade, vous devez séparer votre ticket en deux et vous remettrez une partie à la personne au lutrin à droite ici et l'autre partie à la personne ici en bas qui vous remettra votre diplôme. Before coming to the stage, please separate your line tickets into two, giving one part to the person at the lectern to my right and the other part to the person below who will give you your diploma. Pendant la remise des diplômes, je demande, cher auditoire, de rester assis. During the conferral of the diplomas, please the audience remain seated. Après la remise des diplômes, Sri Durga Cherukumali prononcera le discours d'adieu. After the diplomas have been conferred, Sri Durga Cherukumali will give the valediction. Une fois le cortège d'honneur est sorti, les diplômés partiront rangée par rangée en passant par l'avant et allant vers l'arrière. Once the platform party is left, the diploma recipients will leave row by row, starting with the front and proceeding to the back. Encore une fois, restez en place jusqu'à ce qu'un placeur vous indique que c'est le moment pour la sortie de votre rangée. So diploma recipients, please remain where you are until an usher has indicated it's time for your row to leave. Quelques rappels amicaux, a few friendly reminders. Mettez vos téléphones cellulaires en mode vibration. Please put your cell phones on vibration mode. Ne sortez pas par les issues de secours sauf en cas d'urgence. Please do not use the emergency exits unless there is indeed an emergency. Et finalement, la simple politesse exige que vous ne quittiez pas la cérémonie avant qu'elle ne se termine. Finally, simple courtesy requires that you not leave the ceremony before it is ended. Maintenant, j'ai le plaisir d'inviter le doyen des étudiants, Robin Beach, à vous informer des mesures de sécurité mises en place dans l'éventualité très peu probable d'une urgence. It's now my pleasure to ask the Dean of Students, Robin Beach, to inform you of the security measures put in place in the very, very unlikely event that there is indeed an emergency. Robin.
Merci. Welcome to McGill and to McDonald Campus and to this year's Convocation celebration. Congratulations on the success of your graduating friend or family member. My name is Robin Beach, and my role is to tell you about our emergency evacuation procedures, so pay attention. Bienvenue au campus McDonald de McGill et la cérémonie de collation des grades. Je m'appelle Robin Beach et on m'a demandé de vous informer des procédures d'évacuation d'urgence mises en place. If an evacuation is required, the registrar will make an announcement. Depending on the circumstances, you'll be evacuated to the Watson Field located on the east side of the building or to the Glenfinnan Arena. Follow the instructions of the security officers and the ushers. Ushers and security officers will lead you to the evacuation location. Leave all baby strollers behind, but please take your children with you. If you need assistance at any point in time, please speak with an usher or a security officer. Once the emergency is over, announcements will be posted on the McGill website. Si une évacuation des lieux devenait nécessaire, le registraire en ferait l'annonce. Vous devrez alors quitter le pavillon sans tarder. Selon les circonstances, vous devrez vous rendre sur le terrain Watson, qui se trouve à l'est du bâtiment ou Arena Glenfinnan. Les placiers et les agents de sécurité vous dirigeront sur le terrain à côté. Laissez toute la poussette sur place. Si vous avez besoin d'assistance, veuillez vous adresser à un agent de sécurité ou un placier. Une fois la situation d'urgence passée, des annonces seront publiées sur le site web de McGill. Je vous remercie de votre attention. Félicitations diplômés. Thank you for your attention. Have a wonderful day, and once again, congratulations.
Levez-vous, s'il vous plaît. Please rise.
You may be seated. Thank you, Dr. Trevino, for your wonderful performance of the university song. I would like to start the ceremony by recognizing that McGill University is on land which has long served as a site of meeting and exchange amongst Indigenous peoples, including the Haudenosaunee and Anishinaabe nations. We acknowledge and thank the diverse Indigenous peoples whose presence marks this territory on which peoples of the world now gather. As the Dean of the Faculty of Agricultural and Environmental Sciences of McGill University, I welcome you to our beautiful campus to finally celebrate the achievements of our 2020 and 2021 graduating classes. À titre de doyenne de la Faculté des sciences de l'agriculture et de l'environnement, je vous souhaite un chaleureux bienvenue à notre campus McDonald. Il me fait un énorme plaisir de vous voir en grand nombre pour célébrer les accomplissements des cohortes 2020 et 2021 lors de cette collation des grades reportés. This is a very unique occasion. Not only is it special that we're able together in person. But this festivity is also very different from our regular graduation ceremonies, since you come with a different attitude from that of your colleagues who graduated Friday. You didn't just write your last exam here on campus, right? In fact, some of you might not have been on campus for a year or two, although classes have been in person since September. But you weren't there. You had already graduated. You have completed your degree requirements 1 or even 2 years ago. And some of you might actually have gotten another degree in the meantime, who knows? Forced by the circumstances that I'm not going to mention, everybody knows, that prevented in-person ceremonies, McGill University did hold online events for your cohorts in 2020 and 2021, and most of you might have dialed in to these during the pandemic, of course. You have listened to inspiring speeches, and you were already officially convocated for the record. You have also received plenty of career advice in the meantime, solicited and probably non-solicited. Most of you have probably moved on, and for some of you, your university studies have almost become distant memory. But despite having completed the formalities, despite having moved on, despite potentially having received a paper copy of your diploma already in the mail, you chose to come back to McDonald campus today, in person. So when I was thinking about what to say today, my first thought was, what do these former students who graduated a couple of years ago actually expect from this day? A speech in the line of, a new chapter of life is starting today, is sort of slightly too late, or as my Dutch husband would say, it would be like serving mustard after the meal. So I kept thinking, why do these 2020 and 2021 graduation cohorts have the intention to come back to campus today? Pourquoi est-ce que c'était important pour vous de retourner en personne? It couldn't possibly be because they wanted to dress up in a medieval-looking robe and participate in a celebration that looks like something out of a Harry Potter movie. That couldn't be the reason. Or is it? What does the word celebration actually mean? And what do robes have to do with it? The word celebration comes from the Latin celebrare, a symbol to honor. The word was adopted into the English language, and in the 15th century, it was used mostly in the context of religious mass, of course. It was interpreted to mean to perform publicly with appropriate rites. And rights in this context is spelled R-I-T-E, not R-I-G-H-T, okay? So what are rights? R-I-T-E-S. The Latin word, you see the drift here, it's gonna be a lesson in Latin, right? The Latin word ritus means a prescribed form or manner governing the words or actions for a ceremony. So dressing in a particular way is very often an integral part of ceremonies, and it makes us feel special. Think of weddings, right? So we have all dressed up here, your professors included, to mark the fact that today's celebration has a ceremonial aspect. So what is it about this dress, this academic dress, that makes it an integral part of this event? And how did it come to look the way it does? Let's start with the most iconic element of this dress, the hat, your hat. Most of you wear what is called mortarboards, the thing with the square top and the tassel, right? In its current form, the mortarboard is actually a relatively new invention. It did take inspiration from the biretta, or corner hat, which was worn by clergy, especially in the Catholic Church. But the current form, the one that you are wearing, was patented only in 1950 by a Catholic priest named Joseph Durham and an inventor named Edward O'Reilly, who worked together in order to get the thing stiff and square. Because before it was just little points on the top of the head. And what did they use? Well, first metal and then fiberglass in order to get it to a beautiful square. Now, why is it called mortarboard? That was actually a slang word by the students of the time, because the square reminded people of the square plate that a mason would use to hold the mortar. And that slang word stuck. Okay, now on to the gown. To understand the history of the gown, I would like to take you on a time travel. Let's imagine ourselves almost 1,000 years back to the Middle Ages in Europe. If you read or watched the movie The Name of the Rose, you're not far off. Any recognition? No. Okay. If your thing is more Assassin's Creed, any recognition of that? Think about the Secret Crusade with Altair ibn La'ahad. Okay, then we're in the right century. We're in the 11th century now. Picture yourself. Think that concretely the year is 1088. We're in the medieval city of Bologna, Italy. Students already existed, and there were student guilds. And these student guilds got together and formed something that they called universitas. This was to become the oldest continuously operating university in the world. 1088, we're talking almost 1,000 years ago. Over the next 100 years, hence in the 12th, 13th century, several others were to follow, including Salamanca in Spain, Cambridge and Oxford in England. At that time, university faculty were men of religion, and they were all men, who wore the habit of their religious order. Hence, the origin of the academic regalia, this robe, are the coats worn by the monks of the Middle Ages. Now, the typical monk's habit was essentially a big robe, often black, like mine, under which one could conveniently carry all kinds of things, maybe your lunch package, maybe the occasional dagger, you know. But importantly, the robe actually kept one warm in winter. My own robe still very much reflects that old style. That is because it comes from the second oldest university in Italy, only created in 1240, the University of Siena. I did my PhD there, and I can confirm that having a warm robe could have definitely been an asset, because when one studies in medieval buildings, it can be quite cold. I did my PhD there, and while the general tourist to Italy might have fond memories of very hot summers, I have fond memories of 3 very, very cold winters, because the buildings there, even in modern days, are not really well heated, at least the medieval ones. So much about the robe and its origins as religious garb. What about the hood that all of you are wearing? The hood was actually originally a part of the cloak, and one could pull it over one's head, probably good with keeping warm. But in the 13th century, one would have seen the first hoods as separate items from the robes, probably more for decoration rather than function. So, the origins of today's academic dress, the robe and the hood, lie in the fact that early academics were monks, and monks wore robes. Relatively early on in the history of universities, these garments were also made mandatory for the students participating at convocation. Next Latin lesson. So, what does convocation actually mean? It comes from the Latin term convocare, to convene or to call together. En français, par contre, La cérémonie dont on parle s'appelle collation des grades. Le mot collation, du latin collatio, signifie conférer un titre. Lors des collations des grades médiévales, l'étudiant recevait, en plus de son diplôme, les insignes de son université. Ces signes distinctifs étaient la verge, le chapeau et la toge à laquelle s'ajoutait l'épitoge, the hood. So we have two terms used in French and in English. One is convocation, to convene. The other one, collation, to confer a title, which pretty well describe what we are doing here. In accordance with the origin of a monk's coat, my Italian robe is very traditionally black, but you also see that it has a green trim, right? That gets us to the significance of colors on the academic regalia. When anybody asks me, I like to pretend, or I like to say that as a dean of McDonald campus, of course I wear green because that is one of the two colors of this campus, as you can see in the historic crest to your right. I do have to concede that that is not quite true because it is simply following the color code in the Italian academic system where the green stands for natural sciences and my PhD is in biology. But I think it was just history made to happen that I ended up here. The only individuals that will be here in the room this afternoon, actually, who do truly wear McDonald campus colors are the graduates of the farm management program. They will convocate this afternoon. So colors stand for disciplines. The undergraduate students among you have hoods with colorful linings, as you know. And all of these colors stand for the specific discipline, right? For example, dark green and scarlet, I believe, for agricultural engineering, beige and dark blue for nutritional science, etc. So ask your student what the color means later on. But colors here in the McGill system can also reflect the degree type. You note that most of my colleagues here on the platform do not wear black. They wear a scarlet colored robe with a pale green trim. And scarlet is the official color of McGill, and according to McGill's color code, it is reserved for those carrying a PhD or holding a PhD. Those colleagues here on the podium who do not wear a scarlet robe wear robes of the institutions from which they obtained their highest degree, just like I do. For example, we have Professor Grace Marquis, who wears the University of Ghana's academic dress, which she received, where is she? Right behind me, which she received when she got an honorary doctorate from that university. The gown actually includes kente cloth, a traditional weaving from Ghana, with wonderfully bold colors. Winning the prizes for the most somber outfit is probably Professor Adamchuk in his very dark one, as well as Professor Robin Beach, who's the most Harry Potterish. I think we can all agree. I would like to highlight a very special outfit. Professor Jocko, who is here with us, actually wears the beaded yoke of the Haudenosaunee, and we are incredibly honored to have her here with that dress. It is very special. So, by coming here today, by dressing up, you don't only feel special, right, do you? Yes, you do. You form a part of a history that is almost 1,000 years old. It is a history that has evolved, of course, a history that saw individual universities develop their own characteristic symbols, colors, and rites. But common to all is the recognition of the importance of the moment. It is the official recognition of your accomplishments, and also an official welcome into the community of academics. Studying is hard. Finishing a degree successfully is even harder. Doing all of this while a pandemic rages across the globe has been a tremendous challenge. You have persisted, and you have succeeded. On top of the global pandemic, you may have experienced your own private particular challenges, be it that you had child-caring responsibilities but no childcare was available, or you were stressed out about the health of your loved ones. Votre parcours a clairement été unique dans l'histoire de McGill, étant donné des obstacles au cours des 2 dernières années. I also realize that while some of you come from families with academic parents, many of you are actually first-generation university graduates. Not having an academic role model in the immediate family makes achieving a university degree even more challenging than it is already, and hence a true accomplishment. We, and that is us, that is your families, are so incredibly proud of all of you. And this gets us to the reason why most of you are here not on your own today, but accompanied by your family and friends. This day is not only a celebration of your academic accomplishments and hopefully a joyous reunion with your friends at McDonald campus, it is also a most splendid opportunity to share the pride and joy about this moment with your family and friends who supported you. I'm sure you will seize this day to make memories, to take lots of pictures. We made sure that the weather would be accordingly. And don't, when after the end of the ceremony you leave this hall and go downstairs, stop by the Kaylee for one more celebratory drink for you and your families before you then go out on the lawn. To conclude, let me highlight that you represent a special graduating classes in the history of McGill University. Not only because of the pandemic, no. Much more importantly, because your graduation coincides with McGill's 200th anniversary. You are bicentennial graduates, and as such, you will be in McGill's history books forever. Your presence here on campus has influenced and inspired the transition of this academic institution into its third century. And we feel privileged that you came back to campus to celebrate this very, very special moment with us. You have been through a lot in the last 2 years. You persisted, and you grew in face of challenges you met. And you will continue growing, facing the challenges that are waiting for all of us. I'm convinced that you have the skills, the talents, and the emotional intelligence to make a difference and to make the world a better place. Having accompanied you part of the way towards your future has been our privilege, and we hope to see you on campus again and again, since you will be forever part of the McDonald campus family. On behalf of the entire faculty and McDonald campus, I wish you the very best for a bright future. And now, everyone, give these special graduates a big round of applause. And now, finally, on to the next element in the ceremony, the one that you have been waiting for. The one where you cross the stage one by one. Graduates will cross in order of their convocation cohort in the following order: Spring 2020, Fall 2020, and Spring 2021. In each cohort, we will begin with students who have obtained a graduate degree, diploma, or certificate, followed by students who have obtained undergraduate degrees or certificates. Each graduate will come on stage, keep their cap on, and when their name is read, will walk across the stage. At center stage, I will tap each graduate, gently, I promise. They will then proceed to the end of the stage and stop here where your picture will be taken. So before you step down, stop. You will then step down the stairs and pick up your parchment and return to your seat. You may see some graduates wearing red or white scarves. As mentioned earlier, we like to highlight the presence of Indigenous students and professors among us, and all self-identifying Indigenous students are entitled to wear graduation scarves at convocation, in the community, and at any and all future McGill events they attend. The red scarf is for those receiving a degree, and white for those getting a diploma or a certificate. The feather has two meanings: respect for the person, and it marks an amazing or special event. The Confederacy belt signifies attachment to and respect for the land on which we live, and the turtle symbolizes the inclusiveness of all nations and respect for diversity. I now invite Associate Dean Jean-Benoit Charon to present the graduate students and Associate Dean Valerie Orsat to present the undergraduate students.
graduates whose degrees were awarded in spring 2020. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Bioresource Engineering, Faize Eslamian. Bala Muragan Gatameni Loganathan. So sorry. Samuel Iuma. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Food Science and Agricultural Chemistry, Mazen Bahadi. Bhakti Sinde. Lei Tian. For the degree of Master of Science in Bioresource Engineering, Naresh Arumugagundar Tangaraju. Sheng Dong. For the degree of Master of Science in Food Science and Agricultural Chemistry, Jasprit Kaur Bawa. Sabine El Haj. Tejinder Kaur Blasi. Alamandeep Singh Brar. Gitanjali Gopinath. Fatime Golpira. Gagandeep Singh Grewal. Gaurav Katiwada. Arinder Kaur Kera. Sanaz Malai Mogadam. Sorry. Revati Saj Ajbal. Pratibha. Karamveer Kaur Samra. For the degree of Master of Science Applied in Bioresource Engineering, Fabiola Alcade Garcia. Anamika Bardouaj. Andrea Gonzalez Pavia. Supri Kaur. Praya Pukan. Shobana Ravi. Akansha Rajesh Gupta. Abraham Ajar Kuchian.
For the degree of Bachelor of Engineering Bioresource, David Cox. Sam Dalton. Sarah Mitchell, distinction. Ariane Otis-Laperrière. Anne Pil, distinction. Jonathan Salama Shiroishka. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Food Science, Emmanuel Bonin. Ruby Liu. Camilo Lopez. Zenep Mimi Gouven. Neelay Patel. Stefania Reino, distinction. Diem Tu Truong. Amélie Younes. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Food Science and Nutritional Sciences, Roxane Boilly, Dean's Honor List. Sorry. There's too much written on it. Nancy Hay, First Class Honors, Robert Haddon Common Convocation Prize, Dean's Honor List. You keep that for the end, okay? Valérie Ivanova. Fiona Cao. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nutritional Sciences in Dietetics, Eduarda Castro Grillo. Angela Lowe. Jia Yi Mok. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nutritional Science and Nutrition, Alexa Brody. Lauriane Germain. Jessica Coe. Lucy Lee. Caroline Raymond. Amanda Sirois. Yu Yang. For the Certificate in Food Science, Shide Alavi Tusi.
For the graduate whose degrees were awarded in fall 2020, for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Bioresource Engineering, Christopher Kucha. Ahmed Niknam Jaroumi. Mohamed Saifussaman. For the degree of Master of Science in Bioresource Engineering, Jaspreet Kaur Dhillon. Manpreet Singh. Harvey Penjot Saroé. For the degree of Master of Science in Food Science and Agricultural Chemistry, Gaida Al-Harati. Marina Memgoyan. Dilpreet Kaur Jassal. Lovepreet Singh Sidhu. Uttara Tamilarasu. For the degree of Master of Science in Human Nutrition, Lilian Lopez Leva. Tonghu Meng. Rosa Ponce Acala. Sorry. Anna Sanson Rosa. Shakira Kaur. Sakshi. For the degree of Master of Science Applied in Human Nutrition, Yashika Bhatia. For the degree of Master of Science Applied in Bioresource Engineering, Blessing Emmanuel.
For the concurrent degree of Bachelor of Science in Food Science and Nutritional Sciences, Eleonore Boisseau. Chloé Garceau. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nutritional Sciences, Megan Letourneau.
Graduates whose degrees were awarded in spring 2021. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Bioresource Engineering, Naeem Abbasi. Brenda Alvarez Chavez. Roberto Bualvas. Naresh Gaj. Geneviève Grenon. Oops. Debassi Sadoukan. No, that's okay. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Food Science and Agricultural Chemistry, Anka Basu. Senyan Zong. For the degree of Master of Science in Bioresource Engineering, Amandeep Kaur. Vidya Sagar Kunchan. Valentine Okwangwo. Babatunde Onadipe. Sukhwinder Singh. For the degree of Master of Science in Food Science and Agricultural Chemistry, Kirandeep Kaur Aluwale. Shage Bila Mjian. Anita Boré. Mamjeet Kaur Brar. Pavneet Kaur Shahal. Diksha Rani. And Shika alias Ashul Grover. Share Katibi. Kamaljit Kaur Kingra. Azmina Lalani. Mandeep Kaur. Sirampal Kaur. Arsimar Singh. Ravi Ponugubati. Henry Solanke. For the degree of Master of Science Applied in Bioresource Engineering, Lina Osorio Salazar. Alekia Vasantavada. For the degree of Master of Science Applied in Human Nutrition, Céleste Bouchot. Fanny Dankos. Erika Caho. Jessica West. Drashti Zaveri.
For the degree of Bachelor of Engineering, Bioresource, Cindy Bertium, distinction. Hervin Kai. Andrew Senta, distinction. Shri Durga Shirukumale, First Class Honors, Dean's Honor List. Jin Su Hao. Jiansheng Wang. Lakshita Lugun. Lean Mardini. Catherine Palevsky. Haley McKercher. Andrea Smith, Dean's Honor List. Weemin Tang, distinction. Li Ying Su. Yuto Ye. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Food Science, Ilan Abikzir. Gabriela Bermudez Temes. Elsa Monanteras, first class honors. Tracy Liu, distinction. New Xuan Chi. Trisha Sake. Muriel Wang Min, distinction. For the double degree of Bachelor of Science in Food Science and in Nutritional Sciences, my own daughter, Ryan Orsa Parker. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nutritional Sciences in Dietetics, Jasmine De Villa. Jin Fu. Karine Drouin. Alessia Gadois, distinction. Alexa Gaucher-Home, Dean's Honor List. Asnia Hussein, distinction. Mary Macarian. Victoria Milbrath. Valérie Pelletier. Geneviève Pombriand. Joanie Séguin. For the degree of Bachelor of Science in Nutritional Sciences in Nutrition, Katrina Al-Shami. Emilia Budkiewicz. Stephen Chuang, distinction. Tarini Gupta. Alexandra Gracias, Dean's Honor List. Day Lili Liao. Sarah Shaman.
Thank you, Professor Charon and Orsat, for reading all the graduates' names. I think that is quite an accomplishment in itself, frankly. C'est mon plaisir de dire maintenant félicitations, congratulations to all of our graduates. I now invite Sri Durga Jerakumalli to say a few words as the valedictorian of the Spring 2021 graduating class.
Thank you, Dean Geitman. Hello, faculty, families, friends, and fellow graduates. It is an honor and a privilege to speak in front of you all today. When I first visited Mac campus in high school, I thought this place was just trees and farms. There was no way I was spending my college years here. Fast forward 4 years, and Mac campus has not only given me an exceptional education, but also lifelong friendships, irreplaceable memories, and an addiction to mediocre samosas. I have been given a platform today to speak to so many astounding and accomplished people. Yet, what can I say up here that you don't already know? I can speak of making positive change in the world, or how great the last few years have been, or how hard it actually is to line dance. I actually had a whole speech prepared about the origins of academic regalia, but Dean Geitman kind of stepped on my toes there. And also, you can only be so profound in 300 words. I'm definitely over the limit, by the way. I'm sorry, Convocation Committee. But then I realized I don't have to give the best speech or change all of your lives today with my words. We're all graduating from McGill University because we work hard. We strive for greatness, to be the best, to do the most. And that includes making the world a better place, which is a goal that we all have in common at Mac. It's what makes us so unique. But it also happens to be an incredibly overwhelming task in this day and age. Just like me thinking I need to give the best valedictory speech. So I'm here to tell you to not strive for greatness. Do not try and change the world because you can't. But there is something you can do. It's not sweeping global reform, nor is it the personal actions that will change the world. It's the communities, not unlike the community that we have at Mac here. Do you ever wonder why it's so easy to make a difference here? It's because everyone is doing their part, and the systems are set up to support that. Just as I have been given a platform today to speak, you will walk out of this ballroom with a piece of paper. Not to mention also countless memories of failing David's exams, or having one too many drinks at Halloween that also happened in this very room. But mainly you'll walk out with a piece of paper. And this paper signifies knowledge and credibility, and more importantly, this paper is a privilege. And with that privilege comes a responsibility. So lead with kindness. You don't have to take extraordinary actions to make a difference, just as I don't have to give the best speech for it to be impactful. Go out there and take small but meaningful actions, and I am sure it will have a resounding impact on the world. Congratulations again to the class of 2021. It's been real. Thank you.
Thank you, Sri Durga. I guess there's no question about who gave this better speech here today and who gave the memorable one, so thank you very much. One thing that you said, Sri Durga, is really the most important one. Yes, you got a fantastic education here, or so I hope, and you came back to celebrate that. But the one thing that really will remain for the rest of your lives are the friendships that you made here. Not only have you become a member of this family at McDonald campus, but you have gotten to know the people, many of whom you will meet again and again in 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. And that is something for the rest of your lives. So enjoy these and celebrate today. To conclude the ceremony, please stand and join Dr. Trevino in the singing of our national anthem. Pour conclure la cérémonie, veuillez vous lever afin d'entonner en compagnie de Monsieur Trevino l'hymne national du Canada.
True north, strong and free. l'histoire est une épopée des plus brillants exploits et ta valeur des fois trempée protégera nos foyers et nos droits. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for